I think this really applies to those of you that are maybe starting flight training and are wondering what is going on in industry. There's a lot of news making the headlines, and they are not really great news. I got a few here that I can actually just read out. I may put the pictures up. But one is like Frontier latest airline to defer Airbus deliveries, cancels all A321 XLR orders. We have JetBlue reports 2Q24 results, withdraws E190s and delays A321 neo deliveries. American Airlines lowers profit forecast amid strategy shift, and it goes on. Spirit recently made an announcement about laying off or following pilots and downgrading some captains. I mean, the news is not good. I mean, 2 years ago, we're talking about pilot shortage. Now we're getting to a point where things are not looking so good. Honestly, it's not good everywhere. That's the truth about it. A lot of these airlines are, especially the major airlines, they're using the international network as leverage for most of them. People are very cautious. Interest rates are still high. People are worried about the economy, and as long as people are worried about the economy, people are not going to spend as much on holidays and traveling and all that. And that is what is really affecting the industry right now. And one thing that I want you to know is that, in as much as I talk about finance, in as much as I talk about aviation, I also read a lot about finance. I actually do have a channel on finance, but hey, yeah, this is something that I'm passionate about. So the deal here is this: the Federal Reserve, all right, Jerome Powell, is supposed to be, well, the head of the Federal Reserve anyway, is planning to reduce or start cutting interest rates starting September. And with that, hopefully that should start stimulating the economy again, because they went into this quantitative tightening where they increased rates to bring down inflation, and now they're switching things around where inflation is gradually approaching its target of 2%. We're not there yet. They're making progress. But with that in sight, okay, the Federal Reserve needs to start slowly bringing down the interest rates. When they do that, the ability for people, the consumers, to fly gets easier. So that means, the debt, it gets easier to manage. Interest rates are lower. Things get a little bit cheaper, hopefully. But don't forget, we also have the whole political environment that is uncertain to deal with, which new president will come on board in November. So there's all of that going on right now, which depending on what happens to interest rates and what happens to the economy in the near 6 months or maybe the next year or so, that would really determine what would happen to the airlines, especially in the short term. Now, if you are in training right now, if you are in flight school, if you're worried about, oh, hey, I'm about to finish training and all these airlines are not hiring anymore, most of them actually stopped hiring already, what do I do? One thing I want you to understand is that this is typical. This cycle of going, crazy when they hire, and then all of a sudden it slows down, and then it stops, and then sometimes they follow, and then the wave resumes again. So the best advice I can give to you is that do not be discouraged by what is going on in the industry. This is typical. If you're in flight school, focus on your training, keep working hard to, get your hours. And the goal is that by the time things start to turn around, you are ready to jump in again. You have to think about it as a wave, all right? The economy operates in waves. We go into this recession, then it goes into this uptrend or cycle of just growth, and then it goes into a stable state, and then it starts to go into this depression. And that's just how it works, all right? It's like a wave, all right? It moves in waves, and that's the same thing that you want to try to time, if possible, right? You can't really time things, because we also have the conflict going on, Israel, Iran, all this stuff. We have the Ukraine, Russia going on, and things are not looking great in those areas, right? Because there's so many uncertainties that are really they're big deals because this is drawing a lot of big countries into conflict. And as long as that continues, that can really make things bad for the economy. So the short, story of what I'm going to tell you is, don't be discouraged by this environment we're in. Understand that the aviation industry will always recover. Like I said, it may take a little bit longer depending on where things are going. Remember, like I said, the elections are coming up, interest rates still high right now, conflicts going on, airlines are canceling their orders, a lot of airlines are struggling to make profit, right? And they're having to cut back on their guidance. So those factors are things that you as an individual, maybe you're spending money to training, maybe you're worried about what's likely going to happen by the time you're done with training. Are you going to get a job? I want you to know that your goal is to be ready when things start to turn around again. And how do you do that? Get your writtens done, get your hours. Depending on what phase you are, what stage you are likely going to be in a position where when things start to pick up again, you can start to apply. Remember, people are always going to retire from these airlines. So in as much as things might look slow in the interim, understand that attrition would naturally occur in various airlines for various reasons. And you just want to position yourself for that opportunity. So don't be discouraged by what is going on. Hone down to your work and hone down to what you have to do. I just wanted to touch on this. And by the way, I have been working. I just actually finished working and I need to go get some rest. It's still 10 a.m. But if you fly if you fly cargo, you're mostly flying at night. So I wanted to touch on this. I just wanted to, because I've been getting messages and I wanted to touch on this real quickly for those of you that may be worried about what's going on. Hope you found value in this one. Don't forget to drop a like on the video and I'd love to see you in the next one.